we don't tend to cover Donald Trump on this channel too much, unless he does something really, truly, and well, quite frankly, ridiculously stupid. And well, to be honest, you could just make an actual full channel of Trump's. Shush, you're giving it away. um, but yes, as you may have just heard there, Donald Trump says that he might drop out of the 2020 race if his poll numbers don't increase. Now, why is Trump going to do that? Well, you may not noticed, but Trump has a very, very fragile ego. He is incredibly thin-skinned, and quite frankly, him losing the presidential race would just be absolutely unacceptable. So, what better thing to do than to just say, I'm just gonna go and leave. I've done it. I've made America great. Hang that sign, that mission accomplished sign up again, and two thumbs up and walk away. Of course it doesn't. It makes him an absolutely colossal loser, and I I understand now. I remember the Bush years, growing up during them, and thinking, my God, how can America elect someone so ridiculous and stupid? But trust me, given Brexit and the fact that we have Boris Johnson as a Prime Minister, I now understand how Americans feel. Yeah. Oh, oh, that's all we can say. But anyway, on to today's story. So this comes from the Evening Standard, and as we said, Donald Trump may drop out of the 2020 president's election if poll numbers don't improve, claim Republican insiders. So Donald Trump may drop out of the 2020 president race if the polling doesn't improve, Republican insiders have reportedly told Fox News. Mr. Trump's polling has suffered since the COVID-19 outbreak, with a number of polls in key swing states putting him 10 points behind Democrat nominee Joe Biden. Meanwhile, some states have begun to reimpose lockdown measures following a rise in COVID cases after bars and restaurants reopened. What are we doing this weekend? The bars are back open. Anyone willing to bet that there's going to be a rise in COVID spikes? So California closed all bars in Los Angeles, along with several other counties. Florida has ordered a number of bars to shut after a record spike in cases. It's too early, but if the polls continue to worsen, you'll see a scenario where he drops out, one Republican who asked to remain anonymous told Fox News. Another Republican insider told the conservative station, "I've heard the talk, but I doubt it's true. My bet is that he drops if he believes there's no way to win. If it comes after a number of Mr. Trump's allies broke ranks to say that his re-election campaign is not going well. He is losing," said former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, a Trump friend and confidant on ABC's This Week. He said, "And if it doesn't change course, both in terms of substance of what he's discussing and the way he approaches the American people, he will then lose." Some leading Republicans are even distancing themselves from his policies. While Trump avoided wearing a mask in public, State Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said, "We must have no stigma, none, about wearing masks when we leave our homes." Vice President Mike Pence was pictured wearing a mask this weekend and urged other Americans to do the same. Wyoming Representative Liz Cheney tweeted a picture of her father, former Vice President Dick Cheney, wearing a mask with the hashtag "Real Men Wear Masks." At the same time, Trump has been criticized by some Republicans for inconsistent leadership during the sweeping national protest against police brutality. On Sunday, the president tweeted a subsequently deleted video in which a supporter used the white supremacist mantra, "White Power." South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, the GOP's sole black senator, called Trump's decision to share the video indefensible. The president's popularity with the party base, however, remains strong. Mr. Trump's deputy campaign manager, Bill Stepien, there we go. God, the Evening Standard, Christ. You see, this is why I can't use an ad blocker, because if I used an ad blocker, I wouldn't be able to read the story. But the ads on this, on most news websites, are just so invasive. But anyway, continues. He released a memo on Sunday evening questioning polling data that gives Mr. Biden an advantage, and whether pointing to voter participation numbers in recent primaries suggests Trump supporters are excited. Clearly, Democrats have not rallied around their flawed candidate, Mr. Stepien wrote. Today, there can be no debate that President Trump has a decent advantage in a base enthusiasm that can be most confident that his supporters will turn out. Biden pollster John Azalo disagreed. You know a candidate is in trouble when their only argument for re-election is their enthusiasm of their dwindling pool of supporters, which is now barely over 40%, he said. Jerry Falwell Jr., a Trump confidant and the president of Liberty University, said that the president has not been clear enough about his future plans. I do not think he needs to talk more about what he's going to do in the next 4 years versus taking credit for what he's already done, Mr. Falwell said in an interview. Although he predicted Trump's political spending would improve once voters see Biden on the debate stage this fall. Whether hesitance they might have about Donald Trump is going to turn into fear after Joe's ability to confidently do the job, he said. And that's the state of America. By the way, because people may ask, I would be, even though I would definitely vote for Bernie Sanders, but I would never ever, even though now he's not going to get the nomination. But by the way, still go vote in your primaries, because there is a chance that if Bernie Sanders gets more delegates, he will be able to make Biden make concessions, which is what you want. It's what you want to do with a progressive agenda. Not only that, but this also counts for your local candidates as well. Getting more progressives to stand in America is a good thing. So you have to go out and vote. And I say the exact same things about UK elections and UK politics as well. You have to go out and vote for people who are going to be progressive and get your values across. So, but even now Biden's running in a presidential race, I would absolutely 100% vote Biden. There's no question, because you have a very worrying situation in the fact that two of the Supreme Court justices, who are literally the tipped next to go, I can't remember the name of the other guy, but Ruth Bader Ginsburg, say her name properly, she's like 90, she's like what, 95, 96, something like that. And it literally, honestly, if you watch videos of her, good on her for going so long, but there's only a question of how long she can keep going. And if she goes, then there's a very big chance that obviously Trump is going to appoint someone who is a conservative judge. That's not in question. Not only that, but as I said, the other guy who is also most likely to go. So you could get, if Trump got in for a second term, you could end up with him picking two Supreme Court justices. And if you're someone who is a progressive or has like a liberal agenda, losing the Supreme Court for that amount and length of time would be an absolute catastrophe. Because let's say you did get someone who was progressive. Let's say Trump got followed by another Bernie Sanders, or Bernie Sanders, or someone like Bernie Sanders. There is a very good chance that any rule or law he passed and got through Congress, conservatives would then take it to the Supreme Court and then just get it completely overturned. So any progress that was actually made would just get wiped out almost instantly by the conservative-controlled Supreme Court. That is a scenario that could potentially happen. That is why I say to any Americans watching this channel, even though you might have reservations about voting for Biden, vote for Biden. He is the far, far better option than Trump. So that's all I've got to really say on that. But yeah, riding with Biden. That's it. So, so yeah. Hopefully we'll see you all soon.